The musical journey for me was an interesting one, but kind of a normal one. Just a young guy in Syracuse, New York, growing up, started playing in garage bands and learning how to play my instrument. My dad was a guitar player, so there was always a lot of music in the house. And then I started playing in local bands. You know, you'd play a party and for free and maybe make a couple of bucks. But me and my buddies loved music, and that's what kind of really hooked me in. And I realized at a young age that you could communicate with music when you're either singing the lyrics of a song or playing a solo or making eye contact with somebody. You were communicating, and you could get a reaction and a response from someone. In 1980, I got a national gig with a band called the Outlaws, and began touring really all over the world with them, and that was a pretty interesting thing for me. And during the middle of that time with the Outlaws, I started making solo records, and that was in 1981. The first record was made, and it came out in '82, and made a number of them from then till now. It's a pretty amazing experience being in front of a lot of folks. I can remember, as early as the club days, being in front of several hundred people that were actually enjoying themselves and having a good time. It felt good. And then it went from there to like bigger stages. And by the time I was touring and playing with that band, the Outlaws, I told you about, the average night for us was 10 to 15,000. And then every now and then you'd do a JFK Stadium when it was JFK Stadium, and that was like 100,000 people, and it was pretty exciting, but it was comfortable for me. It was really comfortable because, when you get a lot of people in a room, you're really focusing on that first handful around the front anyway, but it felt natural. Will it ever end? Don't I have a friend? One way out. During the Outlaws, I was a Christian. I got saved in '77, joined that band in 1980, something we prayed about a lot. I had a lot of my Christian friends praying for us, Diana and I, my wife and I, and our friends, and we really, really felt, and it came to be that there was a purpose for us to be in that world, but not of it. I think it's easy to come into something with a foundation and then get tempted to get caught up into the moment if it may be different than what you're used to. And speaking of, being in a big band and traveling and touring and getting a lot of attention and a lot of reaction from people for what you do. It's easy to all of a sudden get comfortable with it. And I have to think and hope that I was always gracious and kind to folks during those years. So my challenge was always to just remain in the place that God wanted me to be in, no matter how much comfort level there was in what I did, or how much of the opposite, because believe me, as much as there was celebrity for several years, there was a lot of times where we were just playing a lot of unknown gigs, unknown places, and we were unknowns playing for people we didn't know.